it is not something which needs to be given from outside. Bhakti is which is there inherently within our heart. That just needs to be awakened. The fire is there in the wood. Hare Krishna. So, what is that verse? Hmm. कृष्ण भक्ति साध्य कबूल है श्रवणादि शुद्ध चित्ते करिए उदय. Krishna bhakti is not something which needs to be taken from outside. It is inherently there within every living entity. Bhakti towards Krishna, that urge to worship, urge to share our love with Krishna, have that loving attitude towards Krishna, is inherently there in every living entity. That sadhya kabuna, shravanadi shuddha chitte kariyo udaya. It only becomes udaya. Udaya means something which is already there, it just comes up. So that same way, Verma ji, he's an authority because he followed the words of Krishna in the right manner which is supposed to follow. And same way, there are four authorized sampradayas. Which are those four sampradayas? Kumar sampradaya, Rudra sampradaya, Sri sampradaya, and sorry, Kumar sampradaya, Brahma sampradaya, Sri sampradaya. I again forgot. Sorry. Kumar sampradaya, Rudra sampradaya, Sri sampradaya, and which is the fourth one?
Brahma Madhva Gauda Sampradaya.
Sri Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya,
Brahma Madhva Gaudiya.
These four sampradayas. Oh, and then because why these are authorized? Because Krishna personally gave knowledge to these four sampradayas. Four authorized people: Chatush Kumars, Shivji, and Lord Brahma, and Mata Lakshmi. And who are those four authorized acharyas? Those who propagated these sampradayas. Anyone knows? Which are the four authorized acharyas of all these four sampradayas? Who is the authorized acharya for Sri Sampradaya for Kali Yuga? Anyone knows? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Have you understood my question? What I asked?
No
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes. The first Sri, who is the acharya for Sri Sampradaya?
Ramanujacharya.
Yes, and who is acharya for Brahma Sampradaya? Who is acharya for Brahma?
Madhvacharya.
Who is acharya for Rudra Sampradaya?
Shivji.
Shivji is a original acharya, but who is the contemporary acharya, like recent in Kali Yuga, who propagated this? No. More clarity needed. Shankaracharya is an acharya of Mayavad Sampradaya. He does not come under these four sampradayas. Shankaracharya has his own separate sampradaya. These four are Vaishnava sampradayas. Shankaracharya he is himself is an incarnation of Lord Shiva, but he does not come to.
Nimbarka is for Kumar Sampradaya, Prabhuji.
Yes. So Kumar Sampradaya is Nimbarkacharya, and Rudra Sampradaya is Vishnu Swami. Okay. So we all need to know these four sampradayas. At the same time, we all need to know the acharyas also of these sampradayas. And all these acharyas have appeared almost like 1,000 years before. Recently, in 2017, they celebrated 1,000th appearance day of Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya appeared in 1017. So recently, I remember when we had gone to Sri Rangam in 2010 Maharaj Yatra. So that time they had told the next 7 years in 2017 or something. Ramanujacharya's 1,000th anniversary they are going to celebrate. So in any ways, all these acharyas, they are all incarnations of great personalities like Ramanujacharya, and Madhvacharya is direct incarnation of Hanumanji. His place of worship is Udupi. Udupi is the place where Madhvacharya took his started the sampradaya, and there is a very nice Udupi Krishna temple which is there in that area. So we all can visit there. And our sampradaya is only under Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya sampradaya. So cyclic succession starting from Brahma, propagated by Madhvacharya, and then later on the branch which propagated in Gauda Pranta. Gauda Pranta means Bengal Pranta, which was started by Madhvendra Puri. So within Madhvacharya Sampradaya, Madhvendra Puri went on, he was in Vrindavan, but he was sent by Krishna to bring Chandan, and then he settled in Gauda Pranta. Gauda Pranta means Remuna or the Jagannath Puri, nearby the Jagannath Puri. So, and there he started getting Krishna vision, and then Ishwarapuri Diksha under him. Many other Krishna saints started taking Diksha. So that is, so see, if we have a socket in our home, and when you plug into that socket, it can only charge your phone or any appliance, provided that socket is connected to the DP, which is there next to your home. So that transformer or the DP means the local acharya or the recent initiating guru which we have, or the shiksha guru which we have, counselor kind of person. And then the কিছুক্ষণের মধ্যেই আমাদের স্কুল প্রাঙ্গণে RSS অর্থাৎ রাষ্ট্রীয় স্বয়ংসেবক সংঘ আমাদের একটা বিশাল বড় সভা আয়োজন করা হয়েছে। আমাদের সভা শুরু হতে চলেছে। গ্রামবাসী আপনারা যে করবো আমাদের we have to approach an authorized representative of Krishna appearing in one of these sampradayas, and then we can receive real knowledge. Thus, the earth personified approached Brahma, who prayed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The world is now overburdened with demons, and therefore I request you to appear. Some say, therefore, that the Lord appeared at the request of Brahma, that he lightened the burden of the world. When Krishna appears, he protects the devotees and kills the demons. Therefore, Krishna, in his Narayan form, has 4 hands. In 2 hands, he holds a disc and club with which to kill the demons. And in the other 2 hands, he holds the counsel and lotus with which to bless and protect it. So we see Chaturbhuj form of Krishna. He represents 2 things. Things are there to protect devotees. Like in case of Dhruva Maharaj, Krishna touched Dhruv Maharaj with his counsel to show his merciful glance and merciful behavior towards him. But when it comes to demons, he does not use lotus or counsel, but rather he uses Sudarshan disc and Bharat Mata Aarti Gana. So he uses Sudarshan Chakra and Gada. Anyone knows name of Krishna's Gada's name of Krishna's Gada? Hare Krishna. Kaumudiki, yes.
Kaumudi.
And which demon he killed from his Gada? Anyone knows? Huh? Hare Krishna. There are many demons he killed by his Sudarshan Chakra, but there are very few demons which he killed through his Kaumudiki Gada. They are also specifically mentioned in few places. No issues. So we need to understand that Krishna has counsel and lotus flower depicting his merciful nature towards his devotees. And he has his Sudarshan and Kaumudiki Gada to show that, but in all the sense, in any sense, he is always either his anger or his mercy, not just for of Krishna, but even of his devotees, that they are absolute. So it's not that when Krishna kills and Krishna saves, both things are always the same for the, because even those demons, those who have been killed by Krishna, even they get highest level of salvation based on their level of, like either they become they get Sayujya Mukti or Salokya Mukti or Samipya Mukti, even though Krishna might have killed them. So Krishna's anger and love, both are absolute. Mataji, you can this scroll up. The Lord says, Kaunteya prati jani hi name bhakta pranashyati. Thus Krishna buggles with his counsel. My devotees will never be vanquished. And with the lotus flower, he extends his blessings. The lotus flower, which sometimes also appears in the hand of Lakshmi, is a symbol of blessing. Now, someone please tell me, my devotee will never perish. How do you justify this when some devotee dies with accident? Sometimes when Namai Bhakta Pranashyati, when Krishna declares that in Bhagavad Gita, how do we understand when we see some sin devotee dying in accident or maybe due to some chronic disease? How do we see that? Have you understood my question? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, lot of disturbance in there.
Hare Krishna.
Lot of disturbance is coming.
Yes, yes. Actually, I am middle of a program because of which there is a lot of disturbance here. No issues, but I will conclude with this short remark. When Krishna says Namai Bhakta Pranashyati, my question is he is using counsel and lotus flower for protection of devotees, and he is using disc and kaumudiki gada for killing demons. But his killing and saving both are absolute on the same platform. Whether he kills or whether he saves, Krishna's actions are always absolute. They are always beneficial for the person for whom he is doing. But my further question is the next line which we read now is that Krishna always declares through his counsel that Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotee will never be perished. So my question is, we see many senior devotees, many great acharyas, or even in recent times, dying out of leaving their bodies with very deep chronic disease and very maybe sometimes even due to accident. So many materialistic people count the way person dies as auspicious or inauspicious. So how do we see that in this context? Sometimes many devotees, many people, the neophytes or maybe some atheistic people say, "Oh, he did bhakti throughout his life, but then you see he died with such a gruesome accident." How do you justify that, or how do you clarify that?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Ah,
Only this material body is perishable, but the Atma
hmm.
reaches the Goloka Vaikuntha. It doesn't come into the trap of birth and death cycle.
Ah, nice, nice. One more thing is Krishna's protection is yes, sometimes you see we see various pastimes of some devotees that they were just about to go through some accident and they prayed to nursing them and somehow miraculously they were saved. So sometimes we see such miraculous examples of devotees being saved by Krishna in some accidental position or something like that. But we also need to understand Krishna's protection is more on consciousness level than on bodily level. If someone is living and not becoming Krishna conscious, that is not actually mercy of Krishna. But if someone is on the verge of death, but he is very much Krishna conscious, like for example, we see Gopal Krishna Maharaj recently, he was going through a very chronic disease. Even Kadamakanand Maharaj, you see, he had cancer and he was in Vrindavan. But his last stage, you see his video lectures, he is giving his messages to his disciples. His last final videos, you see, his consciousness was very clear. He was very means even though he knew for sure that within next few days I'm going to die. Same way you see Bhakti Charu Maharaj. His last videos, he's on the deathbed, but still he's doing arti. Even in his dreams, even in his subconscious mind, when he's not aware of any material, what is happening around him, he was almost on the last stage of his life, but still in that stage also he's performing arti in his meditational level. So we say that his protection is more on the consciousness level. So whether Krishna protects us from some accident, from some disease, that is not how a blessing is judged. But in material world, that is how people judge their blessing. Oh, I did this puja for this Maharaj or this Ganapati puja I did, and then I was saved from the accident and I was saved from this and whatnot. So our more importance is supposed to be given on the consciousness level, because many times many devotees or many people may have a very wealthy and very luxurious and very healthy life, but if they are not becoming Krishna conscious after getting all those facilities and everything, then that is not called blessing of Krishna. Then that is actually bigger curse, because more and more if someone is getting materially occupied and materially trapped into that thing without becoming Krishna conscious, then that opulent position is the biggest curse someone can get. So in the same way, Parikshit Maharaj, when he was cursed, there are very nice verses wherein he actually clarifies what is a curse and what is a blessing. He clarifies that this is not a curse which I am getting, that I am going to die for 7 days, within 7 days. So that is the paradigm shift which we need to understand, that what is a real blessing in our life and what is a curse in our life. Okay, so in that sense, we need to understand the concept of Name Bhakta Pranashyate, that my devotee is never vanquished. There was my devotee will never be vanquished. And that the lotus flower, he extends his blessings. The lotus flower, which sometimes also appears in the hand of Lakshmi, is a symbol of blessing. So in this way, we need to understand that Mata Lakshmi also carries lotus flower, and lotus flower signifies Saubhagya or opulence. But there are two forms of Lakshmi. One is Chunchu Lakshmi or Chanchala Lakshmi, another is Bhagya Lakshmi. Okay, and I don't know how many of you have been to Ahobilam. In Ahobilam, there are Nava Narsimhas, and those Nava Narsimhas, those temples are very, what do you call, situated on various forest areas where which are very difficult. Few temples are very easy to go, but few temples are very difficult, like Ugra Narsimha, that Pavan Narsimha, Bhargav Narsimha. There are these are, so one of them is Pavan Narsimha, which I remember is opposite the Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Wadi, or the school of Prahlad Maharaj. We need to climb almost like 6-7 kilometers walk in the dense forest, and then we reach there. And then there is a temple of Chanchala Lakshmi, and there we had heard classes therein. Radha Gopinath Prabhu, very senior disciple of Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he gave that class there, and he said materialistic people are worshipping Lakshmi, but the Lakshmi which apparently they receive in their life is actually Chanchala Lakshmi. And what is Chanchala Lakshmi? Chanchala Lakshmi means sometimes you see na, like many people raise the doubt. Oh, we are all becoming worshippers of Vishnu. We are all doing all the spiritual activities, but still we see Europeans and Americans are becoming more rich. So if Lakshmi ji, we are all worshipping Lakshmi Puja. We are all doing, Hindus are doing Lakshmi Puja on Diwali day. Everyone does all those. But then why Lakshmi ji is bestowing their opulence to Europeans and Arabians and Americans? Can someone answer why these countries are more richer and more opulent and more most of the Indians, they want to migrate from India to there in the search of material comfort. Why is that? Can someone please tell? Those guys are so sinful. They have no limit to what sinful activities they do. But still, those guys are very opulent than India in terms of material well-being. Can someone please justify this? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Am I
This
audible?
Lakshmi destroys with this body only.
What?
He told that they are very rich in though where they are very sin people. But it is
They have crossed all limits of what sinful activities they can do. There is
yeah.
no limit to there is no sinful act which they have not done. So why they are apparently getting so much of blessing of Lakshmi Mata? Because I have seen these arguments from atheistic people. They say you all Hindus worship Lakshmi Mata every Diwali, every now and then, morning, evening. But Lakshmi Mata is blessing Americans more than Indians without them doing any puja for her. So what answer you will give? Hare Krishna. Am I making sense or not? Or
Yes,
Yeah, making
Prabhuji.
sense. Prabhu. We don't know. You have to tell, Prabhu.
The question is so tricky. So even though we were worshipping the goddess Lakshmi, we were not getting much. Whereas, after I do agree, I am also thinking how it is happening.
why those guys are getting so much of material opulence? Their per capita income is more, their GDP is more,
Yes, true.
economic terms, their industries are more, their roadways are good, their homes are beautiful apparently.
I have not come across this type of
Prabhu,
question.
they are stretched to move towards Maya.
See, first of all, we need to understand, as I was explaining, there are two types of Lakshmis. One Lakshmi only gives material well-being. Material opulence she will give, but she will not give emotional or mental well-being. Even though they have got all the best of material facilities, but there, if you see, their happiness index is not higher. They build skyscrapers and then they themselves jump from the skyscrapers. You understood? They are not internally happy. They have built beautiful homes, but then they don't have proper relationship to sustain in those beautiful homes. They don't have proper family. Their parents stay somewhere else, children stay somewhere else. Their relationship with each other is like cats and dogs. Like dogs have different they will have multiple relationship with multiple she dogs. So like that, they live like cats and dogs. So if you just see on the external platform, you will see they have got a huge amount of material happiness, but actually they are not internally happy. That is why when Prabhupada approached and then he started, he propagated this philosophy of Krishna consciousness, they were more attracted. Why? Because they understood that our material well-being or material prosperity is not giving us happiness anyways. And why? Because if at all we want to think that they were blessed, they are blessed by Chunchu Lakshmi or the unstable form of material well-being. That that form of material well-being or material opulence gives apparently makes us feel, oh, that fellow is very happy. Like in every village there will be some crooked guy, there will be some cunning fellow who has done all the sinful activities. He will be a cheater, he will be whatever business he will do some cheating. And people will see, first 10 years back he had a very small home, then he will build a second two-story home, then he will build a very big bungalow. I have seen this example in every village you go. Everyone says that fellow is a very bad fellow, but he will be the richest fellow in that village. So everyone thinks he is doing so much of sinful activity, but his opulence is growing bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. So in apparent, externally, yes, that Chanchala Lakshmi is actually blessing him, but then that blessing is not giving him happiness. But if you speak to that person, he will be the most miserable, and then he will die also miserably. Like recently, I am why I am getting this example is because just recently when I was traveling today for this program, one fellow was explaining me the same story of a very crooked fellow. He became very rich, his home was very big, but then how he died? Then he was actually killed in the public. He was actually shot and killed by very brutally killed by some dacoits or something like that. So whatever, but point I'm trying to convey here is when someone becomes a devotee, like Kolavicha Sridhar, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you see example of Kolavicha Sridhar. What opulence he had, but when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to his home, he said he's the richest fellow. He's the richest person in the whole creation because he has got the what do you call? He has got the asset of bhakti. And in even in material well-being, he had nothing as possession. He had a small bowl which he used to use for everything, for eating, for bathing, for everything. He used to use only 2-3 pots. He had mud pots, and he had a very small hut. Kolavacha Sridhar. But when Krishna in Mahaprakash Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Whatever you want, I want to give you." And what he used to do, he used to sell banana leaves in Bengal. You see, Bengali home, every home has a banana tree in their garden. So banana leaf is the least required thing for any Bengali person. Even now, I have many Bengali friends here in my locality. Every Bengali has a banana tree next to their in the garden of their home. But Kolavicha Sridhar used to sell banana leaves. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a child used to go to him and literally used to bargain with him for hours together that you are very crooked, you are selling banana leaves very costly. And every day he used to have a very nice pastime with who? Kolavacha Sridhar. And that time Kolavacha Sridhar did not knew that this small boy is actually Krishna to whom I am every day worshipping. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to come and used to fight with him, argue with him like anything. You are doing very big business, you are a very rich fellow, but still you are charging us very high for the small little banana leaf. What not, what not. There are huge pastimes. And then and that pastime he used to relish like anything. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked during Mahaprakash Leela, what you want? He said, I want that arguing little child as Chaitanya. I want to meditate upon your that form constantly. Always I don't want any material opulence. Why? Because he was materially, spiritually satisfied from all levels. So when actually Lakshmi blesses you, then your material opulence, even though externally it may not be manifested, sometimes it may manifest, like you see many devotees like Amrish Prabhuji or many other industrial devotees, you might see they are materially also blessed and spiritually also blessed. But every time devotee needs to be very much opulent and all that, that is not required. At the same time, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time, there were Maharaj Pratapudra Maharaj was also there. He was very materially opulent. At the same time, we had devotees like Sukolavacha Sridhar, Raghunath Das Goswami, and like that. So both ways, sometimes blessings can be in multiple ways. So only from the external point of view, if you try to judge, then we might see that sinful people are becoming more opulent and more wealthy than devotees. Okay, so that doubt need not be there. Where were we? Now I will read the last paragraph. Now, some may say that Krishna appeared for the purpose of or that purpose. But the real conclusion is that Krishna appears for his own pleasure, not because he is bound by any other cause. He appears only for his own pleasure. He wants to do pastimes and therefore he appears. That needs to be understood. Krishna is not bound by anyone's purpose. Krishna is Abhigya Swarat. Abhigya Swarat means he is Swarat. He is not bound by any condition for by anyone, but he accepts limitations or binding of his devotees only when done with love. I don't know if someone knows Marathi. There is a very nice Marathi poem which we used to sing in our childhood, which actually after I realized its deeper meaning when I came to bhakti. There is a poem in which it is supposedly said by Mirabai. Mirabai saying, बाई मी विकत घेतला श्याम, बाई मी विकत घेतला श्याम, जन्म भरीच्या श्वासा इतके वेचियले हरिनाम, बाई मी विकत घेतला श्याम. So meaning of this bhajan is, बाई मी विकत घेतलास. Oh lady, I have purchased Krishna. I have actually purchased Krishna. And what is the cost which I have paid for purchasing Krishna? Janma bharicha shwasa itke. Vechiyale harinam. How much is the payment which I need to do to purchase Krishna? What is the cost of Krishna? Cost of Krishna is the breathing number of breaths we take. I have taken that many numbers of harinam. And that is the price which I paid to purchase Krishna. It is a very beautiful bhajan wherein she says that what is the price of Krishna? Anyone who wants to purchase Krishna, he can do it by Janma Bharicha. Amount of breaths we are supposed to take throughout our lifetime, that many Harinams we need to take. So she's saying Harinam can even purchase Krishna, even though he is boundless. He is not bound by anything, but only with Harinam and with love, Krishna can be bound. We take our birth because we are bound by our karma. But Krishna, being fully independent, does not come because of someone else's request or because of karma. Rather, he comes by his own free will. Atma Mayaya. We are compelled to take birth because of Krishna's external material energy, but Krishna is not controlled by the Maya or energy of anyone else, and therefore he does not take birth in such a condition. Maya, the illusory energy, is under the control of Krishna. So how could Maya control him? Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sa charajaraha. Krishna says Maya or prakriti is under his spell. Actually, I need to move now. Hare Krishna. We will end the session. Sorry for the interruption, but I'll just read this paragraph and complete.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
thank you. Hare Krishna. Sorry for
You
the
made it sense
interruption.
of all this.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Even though you were busy, you took a very nice session. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Let me show you what is happening here actually. There is a there are some devotees going on. Oh, actually my screen is blur. Today there is event called Hindu Sammelan wherein this Prabhuji is actually Prabhupada disciple. I will explain about him tomorrow in the next session.
Hare Krishna. So we'll continue on Monday. Thank you all so much for joining. Hare Krishna. Danvat Pranam.
Mataji, can you give me WhatsApp group link, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Can you
Yeah,
give me
Mataji.
WhatsApp group link?
Yeah, I'll just put my number in the chat, Mataji. You can just send me a message. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp.
Okay, Mataji. 1 minute, I will note it down.
Okay, Mataji, got it?
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.